What I love about this conversation on Tuesday at 2 is that we meet Yvette Hayes, who used networking and mentorship to reinvent herself and launch a new career. Welcome to the It's Better Together podcast, where intelligent conversations turn dreams into action, with hosts Marcy Stout and Allison Nissen. Each episode highlights inspirational women and practical business advice from the Revel Coach Tuesday at 2 live programs. From building a website to securing more clients, we cover topics that are interesting to you. Hello, 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 and welcome to Tuesday at 2. On behalf of Revel Coach, I'm Allison Nissen with my sister, Marcy Stout. We decided a little over 2.5 years ago, that we wanted to take a journey and explore what other women can teach us. And so we decided to invite friends along, and here you are. We are so glad that you are here to be able to be on this entrepreneurial journey with us. Today, we are so lucky because we have with us a very special guest, Yvette Hayes. Yvette is a self-employed newcomer to the business world. She's an online notary who is determined to make a difference. And she uses her platform to encourage others to take a chance on themselves. Yvette, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Could you share with us a little bit about your recent journey?
We all know what happened in 2020. I was actually working for Macy's Logistics and Operations as a department coordinator. Come March of 2020, got word that I was furloughed. Okay. And I'm going to talk about my age, ladies. I'm not afraid. So at the age of 59, I said, all right, what is there for me to do? I had went back in 2016 and completed my bachelor's. Yay for me. But think about the thought of, what do I do now? I still have a lot to offer. I'm a people person, not by nature, because I used to stutter way back in the day. But let me tell you, I love helping people. I thought about it, I researched, and I'm like, you know what? The real estate is so saturated, but they still have new people coming in. But they need someone to help them along. So I thought about notary. I'm a commissioned notary public. I'm also a certified notary signing agent, and I'm a certified remote online notary. What that entails is when there's time for a loan signing to take place, they have to have documents notarized. So those realtors are going to need that extra elbow, so to speak, in their corner to help get those papers finalized. So I looked into it and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can. I'm able to help. Whenever there's a call, I'm either meeting in person or I can do it online.
Yvette, I love how you just jump right into something and you kind of started with this place of like, where do I begin? Because it doesn't seem like the notary transition from where you were. It's like a natural progression. So when you were going into like exploring options, how did you get started to realize this was something that you really would enjoy doing?
Great question. Because actually years before I was even a mom, back in high school, I wanted to have my own business. But your parents kind of push you because they want you to have stability. Go to college so you can be something, so you can do something. Well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to be? I want to be my own boss, so no one is telling me what to do. I can tell myself. If I want to take off, I can do that without having to answer to someone. But it doesn't work like that in the real world, because think about it. You have to have stability, or it's best to have stability. It's best to have that foundation so you can show your children that you are stable and you're just not wishy-washy doing whatever. I also want to say that my first love was going to be law. Can you believe it? I have that type of passion and argumentative spirit in me I'm going to stand my ground, so to speak. So that's another reason why I thought about in 2020, okay, what is there left for me to do? I have so much in me to do and to share. And so I started researching.
Well, it makes perfect sense that you went from this idea of law back when you were in high school, before you were even out in the real world.
Right.
And then here you are now working as an auxiliary to the legal field. That definitely makes perfect sense.
Wow. Right. Right. I mean, who would have known? And I tell my children, well, really my grandchildren, I'm like, can you picture grandma sitting on the bench being a judge, pounding that hammer? Like I tell you all, be quiet, do this, do that, and they laugh. Grandma, no, not you. Yes, me. So anyone can do it. You just have to have that passion and that drive and determination. And that's why I'm so thankful that the Lord has allowed me to venture out on this, because you have people who are scared to take their first step. And I believe if you have a thought, research first. Don't just jump into something without really researching the possibilities, because everything doesn't work out. A lot of times we do fail. And I can accept that. But I'm challenging myself to really stand my ground and to get this done and be successful.
One quick tactical question, then I'm going to get back to your story because it's really inspiring. As a notary, online notary, can you work for all states, or is it just the state of Texas?
All states. The difference is there are different platforms. So in Texas, we have to be under a certain notary platform versus other states. Like I use one notary, and there is one that I can't use. It starts with a P. There are several, I have a list. There are several that I can't use with the state of Texas from the platform that's granted me from the commission, from the Secretary of State. And they actually tell you before you sign up to do this, to make sure that the notary platform that you're using is viable to the state. And you know, right now, not every state can do remote online notary. So that's another reason why I'm thankful still that I'm in Texas, where I can do something to help others.
That's great. And then stay on this tactical question. So if one of our members or somebody on the phone needed a notary, how do we find out if the service we need from you is something we could hire you for?
Okay, it sounds like a general notary question. Is that what you're asking?
I think so. Well, we do have one of our friends in future.
Okay.
She's a realtor here in Florida. I'm kind of asking on her behalf because it sounds like you got a realtor niche. And then I actually do need a notary. We're updating our kids' passports for my niece's wedding, for Allison's daughter's wedding. And so I need to get my kids' passports. So I need a notary for that too.
Okay. Okay, so that's general notary work, which is affidavits, jurats, power of attorneys, wills, etc. And so, yes, that's something that I can do. Yes, and I either can come to you or you can come to me, and we can get it done like that. And you know, in this environment that we're in, we have to be masked up, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, but the challenge is she's in Florida.
Okay. So with that being said, I could point you to someone, because I'm in a variety of networks that there are notaries around that can actually do that for you. I can share your information with them, and then they can come to you or reach out to you online. But the passport part, I'm not sure. I don't think that can be done online. That has to be a face-to-face type of thing.
It does.
There are some documents.
It just sounds like pretty awesome if you have like an online, the notary aspect of it. But I was just curious. So sorry to digress real quick.
No. It's okay.
But back with like how you got started. So, you're on this journey, and I know you have a platform for women that talks about like being confident no matter what age you are to start something new. And can you tell us more about that passion and, like what the platform, your vision for what the platform can look like?
Sure. I believe that no matter what age, if you're given an opportunity, even if it's done part-time, if you're wanting to maybe have a clothing line for a newborn that's different. Okay, let me take this for example. Say you have a preemie and they don't make particular type of clothing for that particular preemie, then you can come up with a design and come up with something that can actually benefit that baby. I went to, and let me share this real quick. I actually was on a webinar last week, and there was a woman, and I was really shocked to hear this. She came up with a clothing line for breastfeeding moms, there are t-shirts. It's a flap and you raise up and you can nurse and put it back down and you would never know. Imagine coming up with something that simple. And so though I look at it like this, whatever your idea is, research. There are so many women networking out there with each other, and I've come across so many that I'm in network with notaries and other entrepreneur women of all races and all colors, because they have so many different ideas. Can you imagine someone having a business card line or a badge line, which we need, and actually having ways to interact where we can actually help each other? I share my ideas, you share yours, and we can network off each other like that. And that's what it was about. And it's great. And tomorrow they're doing another one. And I'm so excited because I've been getting all this information where I can use to build myself up and get the word out. Like, okay, if you know a realtor that or escrow company or title company that needs extra notaries, I'm available for you, like that. And these women are, and they're really strong in what their beliefs are, the way they interact. And I was really shocked that it's a lot of women out there that are helping each other and willing to share, willing to grow. Personally, I
No,
was really surprised.
I do always find it funny because on our platform, what we realized when Allison and I were first starting this, we started off as simple as like, we didn't know how to do a lot of entrepreneurial things. So we just started saying, hey, let's call this friend. And she's got this business. And she hopped on the call. And then we called another person. And everything from legal to website, name it. And we just knew that there's a community of women that are just really willing to mentor each other and help each other and basically share their secret sauce. So that way all of us can learn. And so take me back to like the recognition of this community that you found that is so like kind of servant mentality, willing to help each other, and how it's a surprise.
I'm gonna say this, and I said this in one of my speeches not too long ago. I have always been headstrong, and I've never wanted to ask for help. I thought I had all the answers and knew. But when you are venturing out for yourself, you have to find the answers. And so I started researching. I do a lot of YouTube videos. I've come across so many women in the state and other states who are willing to share. There's a woman who's really willing to mentor me. And that's unbelievable. But think about it. If I hadn't reached out, if I hadn't started this journey, I would have never found her. And that really, and I'm gonna say it like this, it blows my mind that no matter what color, no matter what age, someone is willing to assist me, to make me stronger, to help me be successful. And I have to say, I love this platform here because we all are here to grow ourselves and someone else. And I have to say, it's not all about me all the time. It's about someone else being successful. And that's what it's all about. Women helping women, growing your business in the process, but actually growing that woman so she can be successful and help the next person.
Yvette, what do you look for in a mentor?
Someone who has went through the rough patch, so to speak, who actually didn't know where to go, who didn't have anyone, didn't have any answers. And so if this person has gone through the fire, has failed and now successful and is willing to share, because I've come across one. She said back then, she said notary has been around for a long time and we didn't have computers, we didn't have text, we didn't have YouTube. You had to learn by just failing. And she said, everything I learned, I wrote down. And I'm willing to help the next person come along and be successful. Some people charge, which is okay because you want to make your business successful. Some people are willing to just show you for free, take the time and show you. And how great is that? How great is that? They have a notebook or they have files and willing to share how they fail and now how they are successful. Some people are not. They want to hold everything in so you can feel like they did. But how can you grow actually in your business if you have that type of mentality?
Well, I love the whole idea of like a growth mindset, and somehow, you teach that in your kids, and you're like, you're a clean slate. And you get to learn everything, like even things you don't think you're interested, like say chemistry or something like that. But then somehow, as we get older, you stop that quest for learning, and then once you find, like I find that entrepreneurs is one of the best places to be because you're only with people in a growth mindset because you can kind of get knocked around to your knocked around pretty much as an entrepreneur. So that your the way you're articulating, it just shows to me like you took a situation of getting furloughed and you're like, all right, I'm going to be a growth mindset and, let me figure out how to do it. And, even like you talk about you talking to your grandkids about it, it's pretty amazing just to kind of step up and start doing. So if you're mentoring somebody else, so say there's somebody else in our membership and they're, they want to reinvent themselves and they're not quite sure what they want to do. Any advice to get started?
Sure. What's your passion is my first question. What are you truly passionate about? If you don't have a passion, what do you enjoy doing in your spare time? If you don't have anything to do in your spare time, think about it. It's sort of like when you are preparing for something and you start brainstorming, when you have one idea and you try to come up with other ideas to make it work. And let me share this. And the reason why I'm kind of going off topic, because in my spare time, I love to homemade bake. Can you believe it? Cake decorating. I also make jewelry. So I have a passion for several things. And not everybody can say that. Some people just are just out there. I also love to photograph nature. I have a lot of little things, and you would think, oh, she's all over the place. But no, not really. Because one step at a time. I have one thing that I'm concentrating on right now, and that's notary, remote online notarization, and notary signing agent. I try to make spare time because I'm still making jewelry. But imagine this one person who has an idea to become successful. What is your passion? What do you wake up in the morning thinking about? What do you go to sleep thinking about? What do you think about if you just walking? And that's a way to put it down on paper and then come up with these different ways to make it work. Who do you know that's doing it? Do you not know anyone who's doing it? I'm thankful for the web right now because YouTube is, to me, is a great way. You learn how to make like say your computer goes down. They have some kind of something on there for you to look it up and find out. The internet is where the internet or the World Wide Web is where we're going to be for a while. And so think about someone who wants to get into IT. The least little thing is out there for us to embrace. And I'm so thankful right now that I'm going with this one idea, even though I'm doing other things, but I'm going to concentrate on this one thing. And that person who doesn't know, think about it, write it down. And you will be able to come up with that idea that you can be successful in. Maybe write a book. Maybe you had a hard life as a child and you want to share how you overcame that. And now you're dealing with it. You can share with other women or other children or other men, maybe, how you overcame that and now you're successful. It just takes one idea, write it down and go with it.
So that you went back to school not too long ago and
Yes.
got your bachelor's degree. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about that journey to go back to school. That's a big step.
The reason why I did it, because prior to me going back in 2013, my husband kept telling me when our children were still here, Yvette, just take one class so you can be done. I said, you know me by now, right? Now we've been married for 34 years. I told him, I said, think about it. Me taking one class. No, I won't. You know me, when I go all in, I like to go all in. I had got my associate. I wanted to get my bachelor's. And I'm still contemplating getting my master's. Now, a lot of people say it's a waste of paper. But think about that hard work. You're reading and studying. You have to be successful in something. So I decided to go back. And me being an average student in the past, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And yes, you have those young-minded people there that are not willing to help. And let me give you an example. I had to take Spanish. And I could not say those words. Those young people kept saying, Miss Yvette, just say it, you got it. And I kept telling the professor, I give up. Just fail me. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. Now, here's the funny thing. I can read Spanish. I can't say it. They kept saying, Miss Yvette, you got this. You got this. I was starting to get teary-eyed because I'm thinking, y'all young, you just left high school. Of course, you still know I don't know anything. I'm old. My mind is not working like that. To make a long story short, I was encouraged by those young people to stick with it. I got a mentor. I went to the other professor after class, and he helped me see that I was overthinking it. I needed to slow down. I slowed down. Believe it or not, I passed that Spanish class, but it was one of those classes that I can't do this. And I kept saying, I can't. And that's a word that I don't like to use because we can do. You put your mind to it and you can do. And that's what it's all about. Stepping out on faith. If you have an idea, go with it. Find those people that can help you grow your business, grow your brand, and you will be successful.
Another favorite word I love is like if you say you don't like the word can't, I love to say you can basically say anything out loud as long as you have the word yet at the end. So those 3 little letters, you could just say, I can't yet. So I'll do that with my kids. They'll say something like, I just don't know how to do it yet. It just softens any sort of negativity without being like Pollyanna about like, oh, you got it, you can do it. That's a great story of that.
Yeah, the stories we tell ourselves are the ones we tend to believe. And so if we use language like I can't, we're going to believe that we can't. Mm-hmm. And one of Marcy's favorite quotes, I believe, is if you ask a fish to climb a tree, it's going to spend its entire life believing it's dumb. Or that it can't, because you're not working towards its skill set. So learning where your sweet spot is so important, and being able to accentuate it so that you can be successful. That's exactly right. But yes, going back to school, what a big task. And I certainly applaud you if you continue on your educational journey. I did go back to get a master's degree later on, and it was the hardest thing I ever did. I will say that. However, it's the prettiest piece of paper that hangs in my house. Okay. So I definitely applaud that. And I love the idea that you really look to other people to help you be successful, and that you're not doing it just on your own, that reaching out and building that network. And so not only are we building a network, we're building that safety net that's there to help keep us upright when we are tripping and falling. When we want to say, I can't, they're the ones shouting yet. And that's what we really need in our lives. Right. So if we were going to go through, I know we've asked about where mentors, and how to find them, but what are some organizations you might suggest that people could find mentors in a variety of places?
Most of the networking that I've been doing, I'm getting actually through LinkedIn. And there's a lot of self-employed notaries and notary publics and remote online notaries. And they have networking. So we are all networking off of each other. I'm a part of a lot of different groups through Facebook, a lot of notary networking. It's the platform is, when I say enormous, it's out there. I mean, the names, I couldn't even tell you all of the names. But I can tell you some of the signing companies like Notary to Pro, Notary to Notary, Loan Signing Services, all these different names. And then they have people that are under them that can share. And everyone it's amazing how much information they're sharing, because they want to help you be successful. And so they will point you to this person or to that group. And within that group, you have a lot of other people who have groups that they belong to. When I say it's enormous, I can't even show you. I mean, the list is over there in my notebook, but I have quite a few names, and I go to them and I ask questions, and they show me, okay, go here. One lady Sunday, I was in the middle of one of my church groups because we do an online church, and she was willing to share something. And I was on that platform, but I texted her and said, I know this already. What about the social media networking? I want to be able to grow my brand more through social media, not just through Facebook and through Instagram, but other ways. So she's willing to take the time and actually help me. You don't find people that's willing to do that now. It's all about self, and so I think that's so great that you have these people who are actually willing to take the time to show you and grow you.
I love it. They always say, the universe brings back to you what you give out there. And I just feel like, Yvette, your essence is all about helping others and mentorship. So I think it's fantastic that you're seeing the social media aspect as a way of connecting with other people. And you're, pleasantly surprised with all the people that are out there.
Yes.
So another question I wanted to ask you is, I know you are a distinguished postmaster. The public speaking is something that you have a lot of talent in. Can I ask your journey? Were you always good at public speaking, or is this something you've developed?
Let me share this. I am a stutterer, meaning that I stammer when I say things. And that's why I'm so thankful for going back to school. I had a communication professor. He was talking about Toastmasters in the class. And my brain was like, He started talking more. He said, when you all have time, go and research, find out about the organization, and then find one close to you and visit. 2014, I found one in Sugarland. I visited that club, and do you know I wanted to join that first night? They told me, well, how about you go and visit other clubs? How about you give it a little time? I'm ready now. They wanted me to see other clubs and experience other ways, but I knew in my heart that this was the place for me. Believe it or not, in those classes in a UHD, those communication classes, I was always willing to speak. I was always willing to share. And they kept saying, did you speak before? Are you a professor? Why you want to talk all the time? Now, somebody who stutters, you would not think that I wanted to speak all the time. Well, I did. The only difference is in class, you had to actually read. In Toastmasters, they actually teach you to kind of memorize your speeches. I can do both. I'm thankful for Toastmasters, but first of all, I'm thankful for my professor. He gave me the insight to an organization that is willing to help those who are not willing to give it another shot. Because a lot of people say, I'm scared. They're going to laugh. They're going to make fun. If you're willing to step out and give it that try, like a business, you got it. You got it. And I'm thankful for that professor and for Toastmasters, because in Toastmasters, you can speak if you're willing to do the work. You're willing to mentor and willing to help. You'll be successful in everything. I'm thankful.
Yvette, what a wonderful way to wrap up our conversation. Mentorship leads to leadership, and leadership helps others to grow. And that's what we're all about, is building that net. So it's a cable that we can all use to elevate each other. I personally am a huge fan of Toastmasters, so
Yes.
I applaud your journey. I
Thank
know
you.
you have the little letters DTM after your name, which of course I am very envious of, but come this time, the end of June, I hope to as well have those letters, although I guess paperwork has to get approved and all that. Yes, leading and speaking are such important things, and Marcy is right. When we put it out to the universe, we get what comes back to us. And so when we put out that idea of mentorship and helping others, that's what we get when we need it. And so thank you so much for sharing your journey. I wish you the best with your notary and your business, as well as your speaking career and the platform that you have that you want to talk about with elevating everybody and mentorship. So congratulations on your journey. And thank you everyone for coming to Tuesday at 2. We are so glad you're here. Join us next week. Same time, same place.
Everyone,
Thank you.
Yvette, thank you so much.
Thank you.
To watch a live Tuesday at 2 program with Revel Coach, visit us at revelcoach.com. Until next time.